Prompt 1 is gather your party. Now, I could talk about the parties that I run games for, involving the Travellers of Layspark, or over on the Archipelago of Dragons, or I could talk about the party that I've most recently been a part of. I think instead I'd like to talk about the party that brought me some of the most pleasure in playing Dungeons & Dragons, and that was when my friend Nick over at Diary's Demented Dungeon Master started saying he'd like to get into tabletop role-playing games again. He'd been playing for years like I had. We both knew that we were into role-playing games. He messaged us as a group asking if we might be interested to play over Facebook or Skype. This was about, God, it must have been about 3-4 years ago. And he vouched running Dungeons & Dragons 3.5th edition World of Warcraft version. And it was some of the most fun I had had in absolute years playing tabletop role-playing games. Up until that point, I'd been the forever DM. I hadn't really played as a player for a really long time. So it was really nice getting to cut my teeth on something that I knew some of the lore, but not a lot of it, and I had never played 3.5 at that point. My only experience with Dungeons & Dragons was Dungeons & Dragons Advanced First Edition, which was my only experience of Dungeons & Dragons up to that point. Everything else for me was different role-playing game systems. So we roll up our characters, mostly independently of each other. The party was built up of the party from the Travellers of Layspark team. That's like the main party that plays role-playing games together in our group. So the players were myself, my wife Jenny, Dudley, who's currently playing Roberto, and Nick's other half, Chris. And we rolled up World of Warcraft-based characters at level 1. And we had myself playing a Blood Elf Necromancer, Dudley playing a Night Elf Rogue. Sorry, I thought he might have gone Ranger, because I know he was planning on going Ranger later. We then had 2 Hunters. Chris played a Tauren Hunter by the name of Nuanu, and Jenny played a Orc Hunter, who I don't fully remember the name of at the start. She played a Knife Hunter or a Close Hunter. Basically, the idea was it was a Hunter build that used close combat rather than long range. So she was our main close combat fighter, and her playing an Orc meant that she had the Berserk. I don't fully remember the name because eventually we just came to call her the Blender. She wound up wielding 2 blades, 2 Kukri daggers, Rage, Savage Strike, every combo. She wound up at one point dealing like 70 damage. And although there were some bad party dynamics, which meant that my original character Endorian left the party due to me not really enjoying playing the build and me not really feeling like the character would stick around, the actual dynamic of the group was just amazing, and it was so much fun to play. So that is my gathered party. A party of a Blood Elf Necromancer, a Night Elf Rogue, a Tauren Hunter, and an Orc Knife Hunter. Come back tomorrow for episode 2, where the prompt will be Armed and Armoured. So, see you tomorrow. Bye.